Hey guys, I'm Bethany and welcome back to my channel. I'm 23, I live in Alabama with my husband. I make faith and lifestyle content. I'm so happy you're here. So today I'm kind of doing a different video. I haven't done one of these before and it's actually a November book recap, wrap up. So basically, I'm gonna talk about all the books that I read in November, give you my thoughts on them, my rating, and if you should read them. I thought I would do this video because I read 6 books in the month of November and I haven't talked about many of them. Normally I do these little recaps at the end of my vlogs, but I have like 3 books that I've finished since doing that. I really like romance books and also obviously read Christian faith-based books. It's kind of a mixture of that. Most of these are romance books. Also, I do have a Goodreads account. If you want to just follow along what I'm reading, you can follow me there. It's super fun. I'm gonna stop rambling and we're gonna get into the books. I'm so excited to have like a nice little book chat because I feel like when I do it at the end of my vlogs, I don't know who's interested in the books and who's not. If you are, comment below, tell me what you think of these books if you've read them. So the first book I read in November is called Life's a Beach by Portia McIntosh. Don't really prefer the title, but it's actually on Amazon Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, you can read this book for free, which is what I did. And it's pretty short. I want to say like under 300 pages, so it's a pretty short book. But it's basically like a rom-com. So this girl named Peach is picking up her sister from the airport and realizes that her sister is about to get married. She met this guy on her trip and she's getting married in a week. So basically they go on this like destination trip for the wedding and people show up, some random exes, all kinds of things like that. It's basically them going through, is the wedding gonna happen, is it not gonna happen, why are all these boys showing up, like what's going on? But it's really interesting and really funny. I did enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars, but I might give it more like 3.5 after I finish reading all the other books I read this month. It was a decent book. It was pretty good, but not one of my favorites. But I did like how it ended. I thought the ending was pretty wholesome and I just like the style of the book, that it's not like just a romance, they meet and they fall in love, but it was like they go on this trip, they're trying to figure out the wedding situation, and then just things just happen. I did enjoy it. The next one I read is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I loved this book so much. I gave it 5 stars. It's probably gonna be one of my favorites of 2021. It was just so good. So it's about this girl named Piper who lives in LA. She's like very spoiled, famous, like influencer pretty much. Her stepdad's like, "You're going crazy, you're not being responsible, I'm sending you off to this random town in Washington, Westport, and you have to basically work at her late father's restaurant." And she gets there and meets this guy named Brendan, who is a fisherman, like crab hunter type person, the complete opposite of Piper. And basically people say it's like an enemies to lovers. I guess it is, but I just enjoyed it so much. I thought it was such a good book, such a sweet romance, and it kind of hooks you from the beginning, which I like. I feel like a lot of books, like it takes time to get there, and I need to be hooked pretty quick. I would say that there's a few spicy scenes that I don't prefer. Like they're very spicy scenes and I just didn't really like that. But besides that, I did love the book. I thought it was so sweet and so cute. And it's obviously all over Instagram and TikTok right now. And I think it's worth the hype. It's such a good book. And next, I read a couple books in the Wedding Date series. I've read the first 3 and then I read 4 and 5 this month out of order. You don't have to read them in order, but they are like, it's like a series, but they're all about different characters. So you could read them standalone, but they make more sense if you read them together. Like you kind of enjoy it more if you read them all together. So first I read Party of 2, and basically it's about this girl named Olivia. Her sister Alexa is who the first book's about. So this one's about Olivia. She lived in New York and she just moved back to LA, and she's at this hotel, at this bar, and she runs into this guy. They flirt a little bit and then she goes up to her room and realizes he's a senator who's very famous. Basically they run into each other again. You know what happens, they, you know, build a romance, that kind of vibe. I thought it was a very interesting kind of style of book and I did really enjoy it. I did give it 3 stars, and I don't know, I feel like since it's been so long since I've read these books, because it was the beginning of the month, I can't tell if I like this one or Life's a Beach more. It's kind of like both. It Happened One Summer, that's like memorable, you know, like honestly It Happened One Summer, I knew exactly what it was about, but some of these others I had to go and like rebrief to remember. Basically that's what happens, and they kind of have to navigate their relationship in his spotlight because he is a senator. So very interesting read. I really liked it, but I did give it 3. I didn't like it as much as some other books. So the next book I read is also in the Wedding Date series, and it is Royal Holiday, which is actually a Christmas book, which is very fitting. Basically the 3rd book in the series, I think it's the 3rd book, is about Maddie, and then this book is about Maddie's mom, Vivian. So basically Maddie is a stylist and she was invited to go on a trip to Europe to style a royal family member, and she invites her mom to come with her. And while her mom comes, she meets this guy who is a private secretary. His name is Malcolm, and basically Malcolm kind of takes her around, shows her the city a little bit that they're at, because they're not in London, they're kind of outside of London. Takes her around, you know what happens, and it kind of just shows that. I thought it was sweet. I thought it was like a wholesome romance. I love holiday books, so I actually have quite a few that I want to read in December. I gave it 4 stars and I would stand by that. I thought it was really good. I liked it more than Party of Two. Next is a Christian book, and it's The Knowledge of the Holy by A.W. Tozer. This is actually a reread. I read it when I was in school of ministry last year. Not last year, 2 years ago. And I love it, clearly, because I reread it. It's definitely a 5-star read. It's so good. It's definitely kind of more like harder words to understand. It's harder language because it's really old, and A.W. Tozer, that's just his style of writing. But it's basically about the attributes of God, and I really love it. If you want to learn just more about God and his attributes, I highly recommend reading it. Like when I read it the first time, it really just stuck with me, and I really wanted to reread it, and it was a couple dollars in like Amazon Kindle book. So if you want to read it, you can pay for it really cheap to get it on Kindle. Yeah, it's $1.58 on Kindle, but paperback is $14.39, and it's actually super short. It's less than 100 pages. But like I said, the language is a little harder to read. Like it's not going to be like super quick. Like it's a quick read, but not like extremely quick because of the language. But highly, highly recommend. It's one of my favorite faith books, like Christian books of all time. I love A.W. Tozer. I read some of his other books, and I really recommend them too. The Pursuit of God, A Cloud by Day, A Fire by Night, also a really good book by A.W. Tozer. I just love him. He's such a great writer, and like you just sit back and you're like, wow, what did I just read? It's so good. I highly recommend that one. And then the last one I read, I just finished yesterday, is The Matchmakers Mistletoe Mission by J.C. Burton. It's actually a novella, so it was like a little over 100 pages, super short. It's about this girl named Alice, and she is going to Oklahoma to this wedding venue because her best friend's getting married, and she's just going early to make sure everything's set up, everything is right. She gets snowed in for a few days with the people that own it, like the family, and also a neighbor of theirs, like friend of the family, Clay. He gets snowed in too. And basically Alice's job is to be a matchmaker, so she like literally sets people up. And so Alice is trying to set Clay up with somebody, and you can kind of tell what happens with the book. It's obviously a novella, so super short, to the point, but I thought it was really good. A really sweet read. I gave it 4 stars, but I do think some of the things are spicy and like unnecessarily spicy, like a little too much, so I don't like that. But I thought the book was really good, and it was like a Christmassy read, so I did really enjoy it. Those are the books I read in November. Let me know if you want me to do one of these for December, or just put them in my vlogs and then do just a 2021 recap. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe. I make faith and lifestyle content, and I would love for you to stick around. Let me know if you like this like book chat video. I really like doing it, and I love watching these videos. I watch Rachel Catherine and Haley Pham. Love their book recs, love their videos like these. So I hope you enjoyed. You can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I post fun stuff over there, and I think that's it. So I'll see you very soon for my next video. Bye.